Hey all, so this is War 3 of the season against GT40, always a big lift. We are starting out with Carl versus Teddy here on Path 5, right back at it. Fairly straightforward fight. We're going to heavy cancel into specials if we can, but really I'm just not concerned because I know that just hitting him is going to get those indestructible buffs going. That's going to pause my forms. I'm going to get tons of power from Mystic Dispersion. It's going to let us do this. And if he goes passive and I feel like he's not throwing a special when he should, well, then it's just a matter of time until Mystic Dispersion sends me red and I throw a special 3 and finish him off that way. So, really, the name of the game here is just don't get hit. Don't take a bunch of unnecessary damage. Trust in the fact that Carl is a very strong Hulkling counter, that the burst damage is going to get around his healing, and nothing else matters. And what do we say? Right there, he did make me wait for that special 2. My form fell off, then his regens fell off. Mystic Dispersion gave me a special 3. We're going to bait out this special 1 right here, staying nice and far away. Here comes the special 3. It's going to refine us. We're not going to get the second cruelty because we weren't able to maintain a refined form on the way up here, but it doesn't matter. We're going to get that pause with the big crit rate boost that it comes with, and we're going to get the Fury from the knockdown. And notice those 2, 3, 4, 5 now. I'm just going to keep saying it. But those 13k critical bursts, we're up to 8 of them, I think, now, and that's what really closes this fight out, even through the protection, is just, thousands and thousands of damage just in red numbers once we get set up by that special 3. So no damage taken, not as fast as we could have taken it, but extremely safe. Moving on to the next one. So obviously, I-Bomb is a very, very good Doom counter. I wasn't entirely sure heading into this how I was going to play it, and so you're going to see me shift tactics a little bit in the middle. I believe this is my only I-Bomb fight this war. That was obviously stupid. Don't do that. Remember that it's heavy hitter. Make sure you land your parries. Don't bait heavies. But this is the part I wasn't sure about. I wanted to see if I knocked him down and got the Petrify going, if I would potentially be able to get enough damage out of this to be worth it, maybe get to an acid burn. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, but that's fine because we ramped additional poisons. Not surprised that he goes for this. I don't really have a strong option for avoiding the aura in this fight because it's heavy hitter, so I'm not baiting combos that way. But now we're just going to build up. I don't know. Okay, this one was actually a mistake. After that first special 1, I should have pivoted. That is a bad call on my point. I think I saw that at this point, I was like, okay, I'm really not making progress. Like, the poisons are fine, but this is not going great. We're going to wait for the aura to fall off, and we're going to work our way towards a special 2, because we're now at max poisons. There's no reason to throw another special 1, because they weren't doing very much damage. Let's get the aura up. Let's start working towards an acid burn. If we can line it up with knocking him down, then great. I would love to have the Fury, but the important part is just to have the toxic aura, have it paused, and stack up these poisons, and then knock him down as we're getting close to the acid burn. So you'll see we've made very little progress here, but then right here we get the acid burn up with the Fury, and it feels like his health just disappears. That's what we were working towards. Knock him down again, start working on another acid burn again with the Fury. This is the way to play it. I do think one special 1 just to ramp the poisons might make sense here because Doom famously can be annoying, but don't throw the second special 1 like I did. Go to the special 2 after that and just close it out. Still, very good counter, very safe fight. We move on to Chitinous Thorns here with Carl. Pretty much anyone here is easy for him because as long as they have that armor up, he's just going to have a bleed immunity trigger on every single hit. You're not going to have to worry about, what is it, form upkeep. And then once he's refined, your burst damage always gets through. If you glance, then you can't crit and get that bonus, but you're always getting those red numbers. And so he's always making progress. That's the important part. So right there, we do wait for the aura to fall off. We beta heavy. We heavy cancel into the special one. That's a really good chunk of damage. That's what we want to go for. But here I make a mistake. I do manually refresh, but then I throw the special one while the aura is still up. No good reason for that. No idea why I did it. Definitely still shaking some rust off this war season after a long break. I go for the refine there, and obviously our form does refresh because that part cannot fail, but we don't get the regen or the vulnerability because of glancing. That's expected. That's fine. We just keep hitting into him because, like I said, those red numbers keep getting through, keep doing damage, and now we're just waiting for this aura to fall off so that we can throw the special 3, and this is going to end pretty much the same way the Hulkling fight did. Slow but steady. I'm always amused by the spikes on top of Carl's head in the special 3. Feels very like Frost Giant-y. And 2 crit bursts, and there we go. Moving on, I believe there was no fight on the second one. Yeah, so we're just going straight to this Nick Fury on high energy diet. Burden of Might is dangerous for Nick Fury, but Hulkling is almost entirely immune to Burden of Might. He is immune to the power drain and it ramps him. And he doesn't care that much about the combat power rate reduction because he gains power every time he converts his buffs, so that all works really well. And then it's just Hulkling versus Nick, which, if you've played Battlegrounds, you know is a staple. It's an extremely common counter because Hulkling's ability to go unblockable and just generally control the fight makes him one of the better options to Nick while he's stun immune. And so combined with him being a good option for this node, this is going to go fine. Like, it's not going to necessarily be the best takedown for Nick I've ever had in war, but it's going to work really well. Getting hit obviously stinks. We lose out on a few regenerations because of the ability accuracy reduction. But we do a 5 hit there. We have power backs on. That's going to go great, and I am going to just throw this. If I had timed that better, then I would have landed the full thing while unblockable. I think I probably just could have gone for it. And then we wouldn't have had to dex that perfectly when he punished us because we didn't go unblockable during the actual special 2, but that's fine. Teddy with power backs is cracked. It's a great counter. We close it out. Moving on to this Weapon X. I've taken this before with Carl many times. It is a little bit riskier here than it is on like Hazard Shift, Bleed, or Shock or other places because using Magma Form to be immune to Hazard Shift does mean you are vulnerable to bleed. So if you get tagged, it is going to hurt. And on top of that, with this last build, a lot of people, myself included, have noticed that the really aggressive AIs haven't always felt quite as consistent as they have in the past. Now this one does feel pretty aggressive. He hasn't backed off, so that's actually kind of nice. Did take me a little bit of time to get a heavy out of him, but I wanted to be extremely careful while he was unblockable there and try not to go for too many backdrafts. You do see me go for one there, but I know that the only way I lose this fight is if I get tagged with a full combo, probably while he's unblockable, and bleed out and can't do anything to save myself. So that is the one thing I'm trying to avoid. Beyond that, Carl just crushes this fight. He can't regen all those incinerates, and down he goes. He is definitely tenacious at the end of his life, and whew, that light attack was murderous. That definitely could have caught me if I wasn't being hyper careful. but then we close it out. So we unfortunately did not win this war. GT, as always, is a fantastic opponent. They died more to us than the last few times we faced them. Did give us a bit of an opening, but we unfortunately were not agile enough to drive through. We dropped a bit more than that, and we did lose this one, so we're starting the season off 1-2. Got to come up from there. But, again, I still feel like we're doing pretty well overall. We have had a very strong schedule of opponents thus far. Again, after a very long break, we'll shake the rust, and we'll do well. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch y'all soon. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and take care.